Well, since this is our last Hockey Inside Out show before the Christmas break, we're going to ask former Canadiens Chris Nilan and Rick Green what would be a good Christmas gift from Santa for the Habs. Hi there and welcome to this week's Hockey Inside Out show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, joined by my regular guests here, former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champions, Chris Nilan and Rick Green. Christmas gift for the Canadiens?
Go ahead, Greenie, you elf, you.
Well, listen.
He's a big elf.
Yeah, I'm larger than I was. Anyways, looking at their schedule, I would like to see them put together like a 3-game winning streak up to the Christmas break. And, they have an opportunity to do that. And in order for them to do that, I think they have to make a concentrated effort on what we've talked about a number of times, is be committed to play defense, and to straighten out that part of the game would be, something they could shoot for and something they could achieve. And really, when you look at the big picture, at this point, they're seven points out of the last wild card playoff spot, if you can imagine.
Yeah.
So things are not looking that bad. But that being said, also they have to straighten out some parts of their game and work from their defensive part out, and try and put together a winning streak and make things interesting. Come break time, because after Christmas, things don't get any easier.
Yeah, they only won 3 games in a row once last year in March. They haven't done it yet this year. Knuckles, what do you think should be under the tree for these guys?
Well, I was in there last night, and that place was electric. It was awesome. Okay, Buffalo sucks. The Habs have had their struggles. There's no question. And getting back to the defensive part of it, right? And I'll be the first to say I think I've been a little harsh on them that way, this team, and having to recognize the different time that we're in right now, and looking at their defensive game, they certainly have to get better at it, but it is so much more difficult today to defend. And I say that because back in our day, when we played 3-on-3 down low, right, you could tug on a guy, you could slash a guy, you could cross-check a guy, you could do anything you want to a guy almost.
You never did that stuff.
And get away with it. No, you
don't forget tackling was allowed also.
Yeah.
Listen, we could really cheat a lot. And it was difficult for players to score goals because you had to battle through the holds, the hooks, the slashes. Today, you can't do any of that. So when we talk about this hybrid system and the 3-on-3 down low, you have to use your stick first. And I think where they get in trouble at times is they rely on the stick too much and don't follow with the body after they go with the stick. And I really feel that if they get better at that they'll be better defensively overall. So, and I've been harsh on them that way, but you got to really look what's going on today. And I think that's one of the big things. But that being said, they need more guys with jam. I like what I've seen from Josh Anderson this year. He's been working his ass off. I love that. Yeah. Brendan Gallagher, Jake Evans, but I love Heineman. Like he's gonna, but the young D and these guys, on the back end, 2 offensive guys, and Hudson and Matheson, you're going to have holes with those guys at times defensively, and it's going to hurt you. So I just think, I don't know, what do I want for Christmas for them? Yeah, just more consistent play, and more passion. The Pittsburgh game, losing 9-2, to me, the game's 3-2. That goal got scored 4-2. It's like they laid down their weapons. And they let it go. They let it go. I was kind of pissed the coach didn't call a timeout and say, hey, what the hell is going on here? Yeah. But that's Marty. Marty does what Marty does. But, that was tough to watch. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised Marty didn't get upset after that game. He said he was disappointed, not upset. I know fans who paid money for that game would have been upset. It's interesting too. You mentioned Josh Anderson. I'm nice to see him get a couple of goals too, because he has been working his butt off all season. He sort of accepted his role in that third line there. And the other thing you mentioned is about how times have changed. Knuckles, during COVID, I was watching replays of the '93 Cup final with my son, who was like 18 at the time. And Gretzky had the puck and he was coming up, and I think Carbonneau slashed him 3 times, grabbed him 4 times, hooked him 5 times. And my son's looking at me and says, "That's not a penalty?" I said, "Not then, it wasn't." Carbonneau was so good at it. But no, Anderson mentioned, Rick, when Laine came, he says, "We just got our early Christmas gift." And I think Patrick Laine is probably the best Christmas gift this team could get.
Well, I mean, I think there was always speculation that this guy was. Well, he had proven that he was a sniper, and obviously he's not afraid to use his shot. And what a shot he does have! And like I said, he's taking up some space from Cole in that area. But what an addition, and the impact that he's given the club. Mind you, they're all power play goals, but he's a guy that doesn't miss very often. And when you have a bona fide sniper like that, he's going to bring something each game. If he's not scoring, he's surely going to make the goaltenders be on their toes to come up with some big saves. But yeah, I mean, again, this guy has impressed me with the way that there was a lot of pressure on him, to come back in and do good things after missing so much. And he's held it together pretty well. And, he's had some challenges on and off the ice, and he's found a way to mentally prepare himself and handle what playing in Montreal is all about. And, congrats to him in making an impact so early, and hopefully he'll continue and, help the team out and continue to help boost their confidence, because it surely seems that he's helping the overall team and in their feel for the game.
A good way to help a power play that's sucked for quite a few years is to add Lane Hudson and Patrick Laine, right?
Well,
I was saying last night, I'm going to start calling him the Big Easy, because he reminds you sort of Ernie Els. Like when he shoots the puck, it's like it doesn't even look like he's trying.
it's easy.
Right? It's just like
it's easy for him, right? But
shot. I mean,
Hudson and Laine, that's great. But then you got Nick, then you got Cole. Yeah. They got to pay attention to Cole.
Cole's like a decoy now in the power play.
Yeah, and then you have. If you got the big man getting to the net, you got a great combination there. And listen, I was a little skeptical. Obviously, kid he went in the behavioral health program in the NHL. I get it. I've been there myself. Twice I've been there myself. And when you get out, you got to put your life back together. That's not an easy thing. And then put your life back together, and then apply your trade. I didn't have to apply my trade when I was doing that, because I wasn't doing anything. I was trying to just get back in the mainstream of life. And it's impressive what he's done. I'm impressed with it. And I was impressed with what he said last night after scoring those 3 goals. He said, the goals are great, but I can play better. And what he was saying, I can play better 5-on-5, because he didn't play that well 5-on-5. I've been watching him 5-on-5. He does a lot of flybys. You
can tell he doesn't have his legs yet, though, too, right?
Yeah.
Because you can tell he's sort of,
But again, hopefully that comes and he can be a little more assertive 5-on-5. For him, it seems easy on the power play when he's getting the passes he's getting and he's in that spot. It's like Ovechkin. You can't defend Ovechkin there. Everybody knows he's there, but you can't defend him. And Laine seemed like he could be that same type of guy, especially with the weapons they have. So, yeah, I'm happy for the kid. I hope he keeps going on this trajectory and helping this team and keeps his head on straight. When you're dealing with those issues, whatever his issues were, you don't go in that program if you don't have them, and keeps his life together.
I know I was talking with a Finnish reporter who was in town doing stories online. He said, and he's covered him since he was in the juniors, that one of the things with him is when he's not playing well, he really gets down on himself hard. And that's one of the things. So, like, what a great way to start here, right? I mean, the fans, you said, Knuckles, the ovation at the Bell Center when he scored, and then that first star I mean, it's the building. I can't remember the building being that electric in a long time. During the 21 run to the Stanley Cup final in 2020, there was nobody in the stands, right? But that was a real special moment. But Rick, what impressed you most about the team's performance against Buffalo?
Well, without taking anything away from the team, Buffalo was god awful to watch.
They are
really understandable why they haven't won in 11 games, because it's like going, whoa, geez, I thought I was looking at the Washington Capitals of the 70s, but it just was. It's a bad hockey club, but Montreal obviously in their mindset was they wanted to. Put their best game forward, and they did early on by getting an early goal, and they just kept their nose to the grindstone. They played well, and managed to score some goals and had an overall really good game, and the results speaks for themselves, and hopefully that'll continue.
It's a visit from owner Terry Pegula didn't help the Sabres. Do you ever remember? Did you ever play for a team where the owner came and spoke to you?
No, the only time the owner spoke to us was when I was swearing at Gord Kluzak off the bench, and Senator Heartland Molson poked me in the back with his cane and told me to watch my mouth. So, and then the next time I spoke to an owner was Jeff's dad, Eric, at Thursdays after we lost in the playoffs one year, and we were drowning in our sorrows. And I'll never forget it. We had a nice evening, but God, what a mess that organization is. It's just, what do you do? I mean, how do you correct it? You got to go and find the right people, and the right people in place. We don't know. I played with Lindy Ruff. I know him. He's a bit of an old school guy, but I think he's smart enough to make adjustments in what's going on in the game today. And that's difficult for a guy from our era, right? And he's a smart hockey man. He's not stupid. And it just seemed like, I don't know, whatever he's trying to put across. And he said it. This is the toughest solve I've ever had, trying to solve what's going on there. And it seems like that team, well, I can't even call it a team, that group of hockey players, it seems to me like they're not getting it, or they're resisting whatever he's trying to put across them.
Yeah, well, Matthew Barnaby, who played in Buffalo, tweeted last night that these guys, it's embarrassment, play for this way. He said he played for Lindy Ruff. He didn't get along with him, but he said he was a great coach. He says, I personally didn't get along with him, but he was just a great coach. Coaching decision made, Rick, Uri Slafkovsky played the first 6 games of the season with Suzuki and Caulfield, a point a game, got hurt, never got back with them again. Now he's back, scores a goal against Buffalo. Are you surprised that Marty waited so long? Did he wait too long to put him back with those guys?
No, you know what? I think that he was trying to send the message to Slafkovsky that, listen, I've got to push this button to see if I can get you a little bit upset, or, find ways for you to get your game back that had given you success previously. And, it's tough with a young guy to try and handle. I mean, each young guy is different and different types of personality. And, he tried that route by saying, okay, maybe if he goes down there, off the first line, that he'll get upset and, try and find ways to remember what he did well. And, now that he's got promoted, it's nothing but a bonus to see him take full advantage of this opportunity, knowing very well that, Marty is on his side to try and get his act going again. And, it was impressive, his first game back with that group, and it should continue.
What do you think, Knuckles?
Listen, I think it's good he put him down there. And I say that because I've watched him closely. He was not skating. You're not skating as a big man, you're done. You're done. Go around with just one hand on your stick and poking and
Magic wand.
I'm a talented guy. Do I have to hit? Yeah, you have to hit. You have to be involved. The game is won on the boards, in front of the net and in the corners. And it's funny, I had some guy tweet at me the other day, oh, it's all, talent today, not like when you played. Go get in your hat. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the Florida
It
Panthers
never
won the cup.
changes. Come playoff time, that's what you're going to see. On the boards, in the corners, in front of the net. Not in the neutral zone, prancing along. That's great. Talent's great. Talent is great. You're not going to win on talent alone. You have to put the work in. And quite frankly, when I watched them not skating, and we talked about this last year with Josh Anderson a bit, he seemed off, right? He was frustrated. He was down. He wasn't getting it done. And then they put him as a penalty killer this year, which was brilliant, I think. He got more involved in the game earlier, right? He's not missing those shifts. He's out there. He's active. And it looks like it's paid off for him. I'm not saying to do that with Slafkovsky, but he needs a kick in the ass every game to make him keep his feet moving. It's good to see him back there. I hope he has success. I love the kid. I love him. You got to move your feet when you're a big man.
He's a good kid. And I wonder, this season's more about winning than it was the last couple of seasons, but it's still looking forward. And I'm wondering if Marty's trying to find where else he can play him. Because once Laine's got his game legs and once Ivan Demidov's here, maybe he's not playing with those guys, right? He might drop down to the second line. So you wonder if that maybe factors into it also. And, Rick, you're a former defenseman. Knuckles touched on it earlier. You've got Matheson and Hudson together as defense partners. Matheson playing on the wrong side, on his right side. He got walked for one of those games, one of those goals against Pittsburgh. You used to coach the defense of the Canadiens. Do you agree, disagree? What are your thoughts on those two guys playing together?
Well, I surely wouldn't want to have the camera show a picture of me turning my back on the play going, let me know when they score against, because these guys, yes, really good talent, skilled guys, but defense is not totally in their mindset when it comes down to when they're on the ice, they're going. They want to be a part of every rush, no matter what the situation is. A large percentage of the time they can get away with it, but there's those other times that they do get caught and they get on the wrong side of the play, on the offensive side of the play versus the defensive side, and ultimately results in good scoring chance against or goals. But, this is the kind of players they are, and I'm not sure if it's in the best interest of both those guys to be on the ice together versus kind of offsetting an offensive guy with one that would be a little bit more thinking defense first. But anyways, time will tell if this situation will continue. But they definitely want to go. And I'm looking at Laine. He's down there forechecking. He's down there, around the net. He's not really worried about getting out of there too quickly. So, if the kid can do it with his skill set and get away with it. And we all know Mike Matheson, he wants to go also. But anyways, hopefully they can balance that and understand when it's time to hold back and when it's time to go.
I think they're looking to generate offense. I know Matheson had 4 shots in the first period against Buffalo, right? The one thing Hudson doesn't have is a big shot, but he can set up Matheson for the big shot. I don't know, Knuckles, what do you think about those two guys together?
Well, I went so far as to say at the beginning of the season here that when you have these two guys in the lineup at the same time, your chances of winning are going to go down a bit because defensively, listen, Mike Matheson, I love him, a great offensive player, but he has his holes. He has his moments, Laine Hudson, just making adjustments in the NHL. Great offensive talent, elusive. He makes chicken salad out of chicken shit. I love it. But when you have these guys in the lineup at the same time, you got to pair them with stay-at-home guys, I believe. And now they're together. So that's, to me, I don't think it's a good combination. I'm not the coach, but I don't think it's a good combination. And, it could cause them trouble. You're going on the road, too. Yeah, and they got some heavy games coming up on the road. You want to win some hockey games on the road. Those guys are good. The other team is going to be licking their chops. They're going to be putting the puck behind them and going after them and going after them and going after, trying to wear them down. And I just think you need to have one of them big guys with each one of them to cover up and say, listen, I'm back here. You go. A guy like Greeny, fucking stay at home. Stay at home. Go ahead, take the puck up. I'll mind the shop, and I just, I think it would be better suited for this team right now.
Yeah, Rick, you probably would have loved playing with a guy like Hudson, no?
Oh yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have any problem
break a sweat.
But I know one thing for sure. My cutoff point would be our blue line, and that would be as far off the ice I could get. But it's just the kind of player he is, and you respect that. And if I was in that situation, I would understand what he's bringing, and I would have to play on the defensive side because I surely wouldn't ask the forward to play on the defensive side.
You never trust the forward, right?
No.
Well, that's it for this week's Hockey Inside Out show. We're going to take a little break over the holiday period. In the meantime, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. Excuse me. Go to MontrealGazette.com/newsletters to sign up for the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. And of course, go to HockeyInsideOut.com every day for all the latest Canadiens news. Also, please leave your comments on the show in the comment section below. We always like to hear what you think about the show. You can also look for our 3 bonus episodes, which will be coming out later in the week. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all happy holidays, a very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.